You know, when you make videos for almost 6 years on the wig journey, inevitably you're going to get a ton of questions. And I get questions every day on different topics when it comes to wig wearing. I'm going to start a question of the day series where I try to tackle some of the most frequently asked questions and give you some tips and some answers to the best of my ability. Today, I am going to tackle a question that I get frequently about price. Whenever I show a wig that's a bit higher on the price scale, inevitably I get asked if I know of any more affordable styles that are similar. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate with two wigs that I think are pretty similar. I'm going to talk a little bit about what are the things that can increase the price of a wig and make a recommendation or a suggestion on how you can get recommendations whenever you're looking for a sister style that may be more affordable. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook, and I have been wearing wigs for over 6 years. I've been losing my hair for over 25 years, and I am just so grateful to be on this journey with you and to be a part of your journey. I do my very best to put out helpful information, not just do wig reviews, which I do, but actually help you so that you're more successful on the journey, and also so that you suffer a little bit less frustration than I suffered on my own journey. All right, let's talk about the wigs I'm going to be demonstrating with first. Please know that I usually have a bunch of resources in the description box below the video. So if you go down below, you can drop that down and you'll find some links, some suggestions. And in that box, you will find my review for both of the wigs I'm demonstrating today. So the one on my head is 𝘸𝘪𝘥 in the color dark brown HL. And I'm going to be comparing this one to Tony of Beverly Kenzie in the color Caramel Kiss. And the reason I chose these two wigs was because I think the styles are similar enough that they could almost be interchangeable. And this one retails for about $353.81 full price. And this one retails for less than half of that, between $137.25 and $148.50 depending on the color. This color Caramel Kiss is on the lower end at $137.25. So quite a bit less expensive than the wig on my head. Why is that? Good question. Let me answer it. So when it comes to wigs, there are lots of different cap types. And when I say cap type, I'm meaning the cap, what the hair is either sewn onto or tied onto. So on Kenzie here, the less expensive of these two, this is considered a machine-made cap. You also might hear it referred to as a basic cap. There's no lace front, there's no lace or monofilament for the parting space. It is all cap with mostly open wefting. This is the least expensive cap type on the market. So if you're looking to save money, going for a basic cap wig is one way to do that. Now there's going to be a lot of variation even in basic cap wigs, depending on the type of fibers used. I mean, just depending on how much hair is on there, how long the hair is. The company that's selling it, you know, some of these really huge companies can afford to price things a little bit lower than smaller companies because they've got the volume to get discounts from their suppliers. So there's a lot of variables, but in general, a basic cap wig is going to be less expensive than a wig with cap features. You'll hear it referred as cap features, like a lace front, which this 𝘸𝘪𝘥 has. So we've got a lace front on this one, and we also have a mono part to give the appearance of scalp. So let me show you inside this cap if you're unfamiliar with what I've just been talking about. So this is the lace front. We've got an extended lace front that goes ear tab to ear tab. That will also impact how much lace front do we have. That will affect the price as well. And then we've got a left mono part. Some wigs will have a full monofilament. So you've got this on the whole top, which means you can part it anywhere you want and you can change the part up. But it's important to note that these are hand-tied features. So while a machine, like a sewing machine, there's really no like assembly line type machines right now in the wig world that I'm aware of. So a human being touches all wigs, but in the case of a wefted wig like this, they can actually use a sewing machine to sew all of the hair onto these weft tracks, but a human being has to hand tie each individual strand, or sometimes a clump of strands, into these features. So when you think about just simply man hours, the more hand-tied features a wig has, the more man hours it takes, and the more skill it takes, and that has to be reflected in the price. I threw 𝘮𝑰 on so that you could see 𝘮𝑰 on my head as well. This is the more affordable of the two pieces. So depending on how you wear your wigs, sometimes a machine made or a basic cap is just fine. You don't really need lace features often if you're going to wear a wig with bangs, for example. If you're going to wear a shorter piece that has some volume, maybe some curl, well, you can't really see down to cap on a piece like that, so maybe you don't need a monofilament part for the realism. We're all very different, and what we're comfortable with, what we think looks the most realistic, is going to vary. And so if you are in need of the ability to lift the hair up off your face, maybe you don't wear bangs, then you might want to consider getting a lace front wig, because that's going to give you the realistic hairline that a basic cap wig like this doesn't have. Now in the case of 𝘮𝑰 here, we have got some volume, we have got bangs, and so this one can be easily worn without any of those cap features, and I think it still looks great. So in that case, if you're comfortable with that, that can save you some money. But if not, then it's time to look at wigs with cap features, which will come with a bit of a higher price tag. Something else to keep in mind with basic cap wigs like this, again, otherwise known as machine made, there can often be a fair amount of permatease, which is just, it's also called permanent tease. It's like crimpy fibers right at the cap, because on a lace front or a mono part or a mono top, you can actually see through down to the cap, because this is meant to mimic scalp. When you don't have that, then it's important that there are some techniques used in order to hide the cap. So if the wind blows, or if you play around with your hair, that you don't see all the way down to cap, and permatease is one way to do that. Now, permatease can be very light so that you don't get a ton of volume, but it can also be fairly voluminous. The biggest difference, aside from the cap construction on these two pieces, this one has more volume, quite a bit more volume. It's not a super poofy, pillowy, permatease type wig, but it definitely has volume, whereas this one from 𝘸𝘪𝘆 has no volume at all. As a matter of fact, as much as I love this wig, I have been struggling with the lack of volume. I like a little, especially on a short wig, I like a little volume on the top, but there is no permatease on this one anywhere. So if you are someone who loves volume, some wigs with monofilament, because you don't have permatease over cap features, they can tend to be a little bit flatter on your head. So another thing to consider, do you like volume or don't you? If you love a lot of permatease and a lot of volume, in general, a basic cap wig is going to give you that over a wig with cap features. Not always, but I would say in general that's true. And I don't know if you can see it, how much flatter this one is compared to this one, but so let me kind of summarize what we've discussed and then give you a suggestion. So in general, when you're looking at wigs, you're going to find that there are lots of different cap types. In the human hair wig world, there are also a lot of different cap types. So whether it's synthetic or heat-friendly synthetic or human hair, you're always going to have a measure of learning to do about what type of cap is being used. So being familiar with the cap types, and I have a video, I think I called it Wigs 101 in my new wigwear series, that breaks down all of the different cap types out there in the synthetic world. I wasn't wearing human hair at the time, so I don't really cover human hair in that series, although I am going to be making a new series. For now, I will link that Wigs 101 below so that you can learn about the lace fronts and the mono parts and the mono tops and the basic cap and the hand-tied cap and all of the different things that you might need to know. So just being aware that there are these differences can really help as you navigate. But sometimes you need a little bit more help than that. If you're watching a video review of a wig that you just love, but you realize it's not within your price range for whatever reason, you may need some help figuring out a similar style that's more affordable. And that's where name brand wigs comes in. I do a ton of reviews for name brand wigs. They sent me both of these to review at one point a while ago, and I just think they're wonderful. I've actually been out to their location, I've met a lot of their team, and I know how important it is that they train their customer service team to be really helpful. So what I recommend, if you are watching a review and you'd like to know what some other similar styles are, send the team at Name Brand Wigs an email. Their email is support@namebrandwigs.com. Let them know what you're looking for. Maybe send them a picture or a link to the video you were watching and let them know what you're looking for. Are you looking for a similar style in a different color? Are you looking for something similar but slightly longer or shorter? Or are you looking for something similar but maybe more affordable? And they will come back to you with some recommendations. That's what they're there for, and sometimes we just need that extra help. So the next time you're watching a video and you see a wig that is beautiful but not in your price range, reach out to Name Brand Wigs, see what they can do to help. I hope this video has at least got you thinking about some of these differences and more aware that when you see a wig and you don't think that particular wig is going to work for you, odds are there are going to be others out there. So you're not stuck with nothing. Let me know if you have questions. I really hope this helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.